Today, I shall be discussing about the purpose of probation period in government service, its completion and subsequent confirmation of the employees to permanent post. A person is appointed on probation in order to assess his suitability for absorption in the service to which he has been appointed. Probation should not therefore be treated as a mere formality. The appointing authority may declare successful completion or extend the period of probation or terminate the service of a temporary employee on probation on the basis of evaluation of performance. Probation is prescribed when there is direct recruitment, promotion from one group to another. No probation is applicable during transfer or deputation. The probation shall be generally for a period of 2 years. In government service, probation is generally at 2 times, at the time of promotion and at the time of direct recruitment. If promotion is from one grade to another grade but within the same group, then there is no probation. But promotion is from one group to another, for example group B to group A, then there should be a probation period generally of 2 years. For direct recruitments, the probation period is generally 2 years. The probation period reports, unlike APAR, are written to help the supervising officer to concentrate on the special needs of probation and to decide whether the work and conduct of the officer during the period of probation or the extended period of probation are satisfactory. In case of all probationers or officers on probation, separate probation period reports should be written in addition to the usual APARs. A probationer who is not making satisfactory progress should be informed of his shortcomings well before the expiry of the original probationary period, so that he can make special efforts at self improvement. This can be done by giving a written warning that his general performance has not been such as to justify his confirmation. Unless he shows substantial improvement within a specified period, the question of discharging him would have to be considered. During the period of probation or any extension, candidates may be required by the government to undergo such courses of training and instructions and to pass examinations and tests as the government may deem fit as a condition for the satisfactory completion of probation. In all cases of direct recruitment, there should be a mandatory induction training of at least 2 weeks duration. If during the period of probation, a probationer has not undergone the requisite training course or passed the requisite departmental examinations prescribed, if any, the period of probation may be extended. Even if the appointing authority thinks it fit due to any reason that may extend the period of probation of a government servant by a specified period, but the total period of probation should not exceed double the normal period. In such cases, periodic reviews should be done. Some employees are not able to complete the probation on account of availing leave for long duration. His attendance during probation should be at least 75%. Otherwise, his probation period may be extended. The decision whether an employee should be confirmed or his probation be extended should be taken soon after the expiry of the initial probationary period, that is within 6 to 8 weeks, and be communicated in writing to the employee together with the reasons. In case of extension, a probationer who is not making satisfactory progress or who shows himself to be inadequate for the service in any way should be informed of his shortcomings well before the expiry of the original probationary period, so that he can make special efforts at self-improvement. On the expiry of the period of probation, steps should be taken to obtain assessment reports of the probationer regarding satisfactory termination of probation, or to extend the probation, or to terminate the services of the probationer. In order to ensure that delays do not occur in confirmation, timely action must be initiated in advance if it appears to the appointing authority at any time during or at the end of period of probation that a government servant has not made sufficient use of his opportunities or is not making satisfactory progress, the appointing authority may revert him to post held preceding his appointment, or in other cases may discharge or terminate him from service. Confirmation is delinked from the availability of permanent vacancy in the grade. In other words, an officer who has successfully completed the probation as prescribed under relevant rules may be considered for confirmation. From delinking confirmation from the availability of permanent posts, it emerges that confirmation will be done only once in the service of an officer, which will be in the entry grade post cadre. Where probation on promotion is prescribed, appointing authority will, on completion of the prescribed period of probation, assesses the work and conduct of the officer himself, and in case the conclusion is that the officer is fit to hold the higher grade, he will pass an order declaring that the person concerned has successfully completed the probation. If the appointing authority considers that work of the officer has not satisfactory or needs to be watched for some more time, he may revert him to the post from which he was promoted, or extend the period of probation as the case may be. There should be no hesitation to revert a person to the post or grade from which he was promoted if the work of the officer during probation has not been satisfactory. For effective monitoring of probation cases, a probation register shall be there in each office, the format of which may be like. I am sure that this discussion will be helpful in understanding the importance of probation and its subsequent lifting. Thank you so much.